It's a maintenance day right now for him. He's got a couple bumps and bruises, so we'll see how he feels tonight.
What do you take away from the performance against Arizona?
Well, that we were resilient. Arizona's everybody dumps on them, but they work really hard, and they've been tough competition for everybody, and we had to work as hard as we could just to, come back and eventually get lucky and win it.
Bruce, you talked the other day about having that conversation with Brock. Have you had it yet? And what was said to him?
I think whatever I talk to any of the players is between us. I don't think that's a media thing, so I'm not going to say.
Bruce, sorry, just to follow up on Quinn, would you go so far as to say that he's game time decision?
Well, I'd go as I'm expecting him to play. So.
We don't see a cake here, but tomorrow marks 1 year, Bruce, since you went behind the bench, that 4-0 win over LA. I know you take a lot of pride in that second half and what you guys almost accomplished, and put it together with this, you'd have 97 points and you'd be theoretically in the playoffs. What do you take from the year here, Bruce?
From what?
From the past year, what do you take from it personally in terms of what you think you've accomplished here?
Well, I think the team has worked hard, for me, and it's, I think we're just starting to realize how good we can be right now, and it's a tough league, and I just, you work every day. You hope you get the results you'd like to see, and we were a little short last year. We want to make a point that we're not going to be a little short this year, I guess.
The instant response to the start of your run here and getting through to guys like Petey, who's really struggling, and sort of revamping the PK, are these things that stand out to you, Bruce?
Yeah, I think they do. Like all the young players, the individual players that started to play, a lot better, I thought was really good. I don't know why, but they did it, and we want them to continue doing that this year and throughout their career. We've set a standard, I think, that sometimes we don't meet, but we try to meet it every day. And I think as the season goes on, you'll find that we are meeting these standards that we've put for ourselves more and more. As we have, I think, we've had a better November than we did October. We're going to hopefully have a better December than we did November, and we just keep getting better.
Back to Brock for a sec, if you would. But 2 days ago, he was projected to be a healthy scratch, and now he's playing on a line with Pettersson. Just take us through that move.
Well, I just thought once I made the switch halfway through the game, he had multiple opportunities to score. So sometimes you just say, okay, let's see if that can continue. They played. I went through last year, and they played quite a bit on the same line last year, and they had some success. So let's see if it can happen again today.
Is there anything Kuzmenko isn't doing?
Well, no. It balances it out a little bit. He's used to playing left wing. Both Garland and Brock haven't been used to playing left wing, so I think he would be a little more comfortable on that side as well. So, we all try things that we're hoping that will touch the right buttons that make everything work, and this is just another one of them.
Is this a measure of the market, Bruce? You've been in other cities where you've had to scratch top 6 players. This isn't the first time you've probably had to scratch a pretty good player.
I scratched Teemu Solani, and that wasn't fun. But you do it. You do whatever you think you have to do.
Without getting into details of the conversation,
I won't go there.
Without getting into details of your conversation after, do you feel that the two of you and Brock, are on the same page?
I think he's ready to play.
Did you take us to that Solani scratch? Or?
No, I didn't. That's years ago.
Are you still welcome at the steakhouse?
Yes.
Bruce, with Spencer, he's obviously going to start again. Excuse me. He's obviously going to start again. Is there? He seems to be pretty taking this in stride for a guy who, a year ago when you were hired, was sort of a 5th goaltender on the depth chart. Is there something about the way he carries himself that lends additional confidence to you in putting him out there every night?
The additional I've always had confidence in him because every time I've put him in, he's played well. He's a quiet guy. There's no doubt about it, but I think he is quietly confident in his abilities, and that's great. I don't talk to the goalies too much. I let Ian do an awful lot of that, but he comes to play every day. I don't think there's a game that he's come and he hasn't been really focused. And I think, you know, every time somebody gets hurt, it's an opportunity for somebody to get in there and do something. And I think he's, last year he took full advantage of it, and I think this year he's trying to.
The schedule breaks down where you don't have a lot of back-to-backs. You don't have a lot of travel. I mean, a few one-and-backs, one-and-backs over the next month. Does that set up a situation where we'll be seeing an awful lot of them?
Well, I would think at this stage, yeah. I mean, ran into something like that in Anaheim and played Hiller 32 games in a row. I mean, because we didn't have a lot of travel at that point in time. So we'll do whatever we have to do to win, and that's what we're trying to do.
Bruce, we talk a lot about guys on this team. We don't talk a lot about Luke Shen. He just seems to quietly go about his business. What does he mean to this team?
Well, I think he means a lot to this team. Like, I mean, he's the rock. I mean, he's the voice of stability and reason back there. And, you know, he's gone through the hard times and the good times all at the same time. I mean, from a 5th overall pick, I think, to being sent to the minors, you know, when he's in the height of his age in his career 4 years ago, to winning 2 Stanley Cups. So he knows how everything works, and he takes, you know, everything in stride. But he's what I would call a true professional, and those are the kind of guys you like to see.
The game's changed a lot since he was drafted in 2008. Do you think he's underappreciated for what he does and brings to the team?
I think everybody appreciates him, both on our team and other teams. I mean, that's I think one of the things that, you know, he's always asked about, is he available? You know, and we're always saying, no, we love him. So.
Bruce, coming back to the fact that you're approaching that 12-month anniversary of when you were hired, or a year anniversary of when you were hired here, is there something you know now about this group that you didn't know the day you were hired?
I didn't know anything about this group, so now I know them individually, which is probably the biggest thing, and hopefully know what makes them tick and what makes them not tick. I mean, when I came in here, it was all emotion and let's, you know, and that was it. So, I mean, we've had a lot, you know, we've changed the way we play a few times, but I mean, until we find the right way that really makes us really a good team, and we'll just keep, you know, ticking around with it.
Thinking back to that day, if there was one thing you could tell yourself today, a year ago, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know. Just, you know, stay positive. Good things will happen. You know, I mean, the one thing a year ago, I will say, Stan came in and had a speech that I thought was the most motivating speech of the year. And I think that helped an awful lot that I came in right after that. And I think the players really bought into what he was saying, and I was sort of just like the icing on the cake type thing.
Why has hope always been at the forefront of your outlook on everything? Does it go back to being a player, thinking I'm trying to stick in the NHL, but if I keep hoping, maybe I will?
I've always been like that. Always hoped for the best. Like when I'll tell you the last quick story is, when I was 38 years old and I was still playing in Fort Wayne, I thought there was still a chance for me to be in the NHL, because I kept thinking of Connie Madigan being a rookie in the NHL at 38 with St. Louis. So hope is always there. I think when you lose hope, you lose a lot of things, but hope will never be lost with me.
What do you have to prioritize against this opponent, just in terms of where you have to point to that?
Well, their speed. You know, their first line is awful dangerous. So, you know, I mean, we have to make sure that we're good against those guys. So, and they beat us pretty good last time. So we've got to be ready.